they make you get loyalty points with every top-up what you do with AfriCell.
The more you top up, the more points you go get, where you can now exchange for minutes, data, phones, discount, and even cashback.
In on top though, you can also gain points with every transaction what you did do with AfriMoney. Any top-up what you do with AfriCell, they count.
Dial *4232# for join the loyalty program for free and start for get you points now. The more you connect, the more you collect now the loyalty program from AfriCell.
AfriCell, now we network.
Yes, good morning Freetown, good morning Sierra Leone. Welcome to Wake Up Sierra Leone on AYV television. We're also live on radio on FM 101.7. My name is Bokari Matia.
And I am Alimatu Judge. Whether you're watching or listening to us from the provinces or in the capital city, on Channel 33 or on DSTV Channel 399 from across Africa, you are most welcome.
But of course, you can also watch us online from around the world on this beautiful day, the 28th day of August 2026. We are counting down 4 months to the end of the year 2026.
We're broadcasting live from the top of Tower Hill in the heart of the city. Do send us your comments through our socials on the YV News Facebook page on the stories that we cover this morning.
And coming up on the stories we're covering here this morning, Wakeup Commercial Bank Managing Director and CEO Dr. Walter Nekunda Ogilping has been named as African Banker of the Year 2026 at the Voice Achievers Award held in London. We shall be speaking to him on the awards and Wakeup Commercial Bank and his plans to improve the banking sector in the country.
Also on the program this morning, the Nollywood collabo film Uncanny Love, featuring Sierra Leonean star Peter Kumba and Nigerian filmmaker and actress Chinye Ulegbu, will be premiering in Freetown this weekend. We will be discussing the movie.
Well, and of course, yesterday, Parliament's Committee on Environment conducted a sweeping compliance audit of factories across Freetown, scrutinizing adherence to environmental law, regulation, and safety protocol. Our man Samuel Tonisara will be reporting on the outcome of that visit by Parliament.
But before all that, let's get a quick message from our sponsors, Wakeup Commercial Bank and other advertisers. And we shall be right back with you. Please stay with us.
More and more people are using Wakeup SIM Copper Plus in their everyday lives. Did you hear that? She just transferred money for her daughter's school fees. And this man just paid for some products. Mr. Abu, are you sending money to your wife again?
Yes, Wakeup SIM Copper. Yes, like having money in my pocket.
Excellent.
Thank you.
He just bought some eggs. The world is digital, so keep up with the times. Have you got a payment to make? If so, just download Wakeup SIM Copper Plus now. You can download the Wakeup SIM Couple Plus app from Apple iStore and iPad or Google Play Store for Android users.
You see, it's fast, safe, and reliable.
Morning. Leah, give me 30 Leone top up. Thank you. Hello, babe. How you dey do? Talk to Uba.
Hello? Hello?
Don't settle for a provider that cuts into your data and airtime.
Leah, give me all the 30 Leones.
AfriCell gives you full value. AfriCell, now we network.
Feels good to see your face again. It's been a very crazy day. The joyous feeling in the air when rain falls on a sunny day.
Happy, yeah. Let the stars, let the roll.
Enjoy life's little pleasures with Maltina. Maltina. Share happiness.
As mama, I always want waiting best for me picking them, especially when it comes up waiting them for eat and drink. Now this make I always they choose Sarah juice because they make come from with local foods them and nutritious and it gets less sugar than the other drinks them. Not to me say so.
We lab test show say Sierra juice gets 50% less sugar than the other drinks them na the market.
Because we mama they know waiting best for we picking them, now you make we always they choose Sierra juice. Sierra juice and nutritious, it healthy and it's sweet. Sierra juice, not the taste of Salone.
Fellow Sierra Leoneans, on 8th August 2024, Statutory Instrument Number 8 of 2024 regarding the conduct of nationwide population and housing census was successfully laid in Parliament. On 29th August 2024, this statutory instrument became effective following 21 days from its laying. Therefore, in line with the decennial census calendar, I am pleased to announce that my government will conduct a nationwide population and housing census.
It's 2026, we dey get with census. Make all man tell him fambulem. And we responsibility for bring development. Make all man tell him fambulem. From the east to the west, blah blah blah. From the north to the south, blah blah. No matter how you dare or you try, blah blah blah. Mama or papa, blah blah blah. One pikin or grandpa, blah blah blah. Auntie or uncle, blah blah blah. Let them come to you, yeah. One people, one nation. Let them come to you, yeah. Now we number go build salon. Let them come to you, yeah. No person say you not here. Let them come to you. Let them come to you, yeah.
I'm a papa, make we come together now. Brother, sister, nothing saying no matter, no. No left behind, no. This night you 10 for. Can join the census. Salon now we on.
Okay, well, show me your name, show me your address. For make you go join now the plan. The census go make you get the access. For make you go vote now this land. Let the all you. If you don't want make them country again, make them leave you. Cause this time you're salon for right.
See what you been a second cabo aduo. We bring good news, salon people here view. Sense
census don't come again. We ready for control, sky from the young to the old. Say the census go help make development day. Allow me then continue, you know go pay. It go help plan more schools, hospital and light, even water for you community. Who say you there?
They come to you, yeah. One people, one nation. They come to you, yeah. Now we number go build salon. They come to you, yeah. No person say you not here. They come to you, yeah. They don't come to you, yeah.
Census they come, the other we cooperate. Tell mama and papa, then get for country we all, yeah, make we all ready. Census go help for make we know we serve, and who say we stand. If you claim say you love salon, who say development day, na day you for day.
Yambo tegina, mimbo tegina, mingo tetege biambe. Ka 2026, census na me right, census na you right. Family, imagine, if they count everybody, they left you out.
Amulemba kotumobawa, upoka kufuni ngesa gbele tuwa. Tonya, ye amubuji hule panda. Wabulo le tabo bawa baya ganga. Ye tumubawa mudagbe behave. Kometi ya kuo salon bate mukweleva. Nyabi yina na metabo bawana. Do mama kome kola boganya delega. Hina.
Kakotone dim din dang, dim din dang, dim din dang. Katap kata tinganga pe kata konkel, anga pe kata banganda yer. Abagato bagat, aindo gor. Agalene, samo jamu, agatamu, tarentamu. Donye, mama marita kangontu.
Amiya timi wandi, timi wandi. Amiya timi wandi, timi wandi. Mwa Kongo tami wandi, ungewa menda milwena wo. Ya Kongo tabi wandi, ungeba handa bebe holo.
From the east to the west, blama blama. From the north to the south, blama. No matter how you dare or you try, blama blama. You want to go, mama or papa, blama blama. Mo pikin or grandpa, blama blama. Auntie or uncle, blama blama. Motibe oh, yeah. May they come to you, yeah. One people, one nation. May they come to you, yeah. Now we number go build salon. May they come to you, yeah. No person say you not here. May they come to you, yeah. May they come to you, yeah.
Welcome back. A quick reminder, this is Wake Up Sierra Leone on AYV TV and on radio here in Freetown, Sierra Leone. Now, Parliament's Committee on Environment has conducted a sweeping compliance audit of factories across Freetown, scrutinizing adherence to environmental law, regulation and safety protocol. The inspection tour touched down at Sierra Leone Flour Mill, Aminata and Sons Limited, G. Shakandas and Sons and Roxem amongst others. The committee chairman, Honorable Yusuf Makre, says the companies are largely within compliance, though pockets of concerns persist, issuing a call for full adherence, insisting that environmental sanity is non-negotiable for public well-being. Here is a highlight of the process.
As Environment Committee, we always make sure we do our constitutional mandate. As MPs, we are here to represent our people, to do again laws that can also promote the peace, security, and good governance of Sierra Leone, and also we perform oversight function.
Please include me in all.
So there are always risk and impact, so we do regular risk identification. For flour, the key risk will be what? The dust, which is a challenge. So you see some of our workers during the time of milling, they will be wearing their mask because it's again good for them. And sometimes in the mill, they will have their ear plugs. One of the challenges we have in this country is that even when you provide the necessary PPEs, you have to be constantly at the back of people to use them.
Actually, give us the overview of population regarding.
We see relatively water to the bottom, oil to the top. And we continue processing automatically, then you will see what's in. We will also fit up in here, and we have a bar that we control from this point. Because if we have enough oil and water, we do the filtering by opening the bar here and let the water flow.
First of all, we don't have plastic waste because we are no longer producing plastics. And the other waste is managed by this new Freetown Waste Management, because this, according to the Freetown City Councils, they said we should go by this, this our service provider in our area. So we manage, they manage our waste and all. And when it comes to environmental, because there is no much production, so we are not facing that much challenges and all. That's why I'm just trying to mention.
We can gladly go on account, put on account, visit we, because as I can always say, nobody is perfect. So the corner can cancel, for on account do oversight. We can appreciate, for them to see if there is any error at the factory, at the production site, so that on ourselves can go add value based on what you can see or what you can inspect against.
I am highly delighted to be part of this team today. We visited several companies, as you said. We are now, for today, we are now at the last point for today. But this is really, impressive, because recently we approved this agreement. This is Roxanne. This is a new factory they are constructing, that deals with the production of cement. And this is a massive construction they are doing so that they can, catch up with the time and also what they said, in that agreement. And we have been here. The company is very good, very clean, and highly spacious. So we are here today to make sure we follow up, because during the debate, there are issues on environmental protections.
Here's how to update your details for Salon Payment Switch with AfriMoney. Dial *161#. Select option 1. Go to option 4 for Salon Payment Switch. Select option 2 for account registration. Select 1 to register your alias. You will receive an SMS with a WhatsApp link. Tap the link and provide a valid ID card and your last 5 transactions. Someone will help you update your accounts. AfriMoney, quick and easy.
To you, Tunisia, for putting that highlight together. When I return to our main studios, in our first conversation, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Wakeup Commercial Bank, RCB, Dr. Walton Ekundayo-Gilpin, has been named African Banker of the Year 2026 by the Voice Achievers Awards, marking another major international recognition for Sierra Leone's banking sector. Dr. Walton Ekundayo-Gilpin received the prestigious honor on Friday, 21st August 2026 at an awards ceremony held at the London Hilton Kensington in the United Kingdom.
Well, the Voice Achievers Awards recognizes outstanding African leaders, professionals, and institutions whose work has contributed significantly to the development and leadership and positive transformation across Africa and beyond. The recognition places him amongst a distinguished group of African personalities who have previously been honored by the awards for their contributions in leadership, governance, and professional service, including leading the Wakeup Commercial Bank through a period characterized by institutional transformation, expansion, and increased emphasis on digital banking and financial inclusion, amongst other things.
this morning to talk about the award, Wakeup Commercial Bank and his plans to improve the bank is Dr. Walton Ekundayo Gilpin himself, African Banker of the Year and Managing Director, Wakeup Commercial Bank, RCB. Good morning, Doc, and welcome to Wake Up Sierra Leone.
Good morning, and thank you for having me here.
And congratulations on being named African Banker of the Year. It's such a prestigious award indeed.
Thank you. Thank you for that also.
So, well, it's not new. You've had other awards in the past, and you must have done something to earn the recognition. What measurable output or input do you think you can point to that led to this award?
Well, thanks ever so much. I think the output, as you said, measurable, will be quantifiable, and you also have the non-quantifiable achievements that we have done. I think the first one would be taking Wakeup Commercial Bank from a position wherein it was like just on the brink to a position where it is now very comfortable. That is quantifiable. Looking at the capital adequacy ratio, looking at the cost ratio, the efficiency ratios, looking at the growth in deposits, the growth in assets base, and all the other quantifiables and the credentials that have been prescribed by the regulator, I believe that Wakeup Bank has done what is required and has surpassed that. Furthermore, the actual perception of the sector itself in Sierra Leone, the financial sector, the perception of the banking sector, perception of the bank itself, those are non-quantifiable, but still they have the have the qualities that any individual wants to find in a bank. And so you see a bank as a local bank that's operating with a global reach, and not only that, but it's a global bank that has the same quality and ambience and a large extent customer relationship that we get from any other bank anywhere in the world. So with those key indicators, I think we've been able to push forward a bank and an entity that we believe will stand the test of time and is being seen and recognized across the shores of the world and beyond the borders of Sierra Leone.
So of course, the awards are impressive, and you know, we've had rumors in the past that people go to any length just to, you know, be recognized in such platforms. What does this mean for the banking sector in Sierra Leone? And of course, you are a key figure when we talk about banking in Sierra Leone, all the things you've done, the transformation in Wakeup Commercial Bank, and quite recently, in fact, you are now tagging along UTB. So, I mean, what does it mean? What does this mean for the banking sector?
Well, I believe the length and breadth of what we've done in RC Bank, and considering also it's a quasi-government entity, has really resonated quite well, you know, within the financial sector, as it were. And as you know, we're in a regulated sector, and the sector actually is monitored not only by the regulator, but also by our development partners. And so every step we take along the way is actually assessed and processed and is put on a benchmark and on a scale to determine how well that has resonated within an overall framework. The actual perception of the location and the entity itself, I would say, speaks for itself. For example, in this particular award, first of all, I did not know the entity itself, and the entity did not know me. And when I was interviewed by them, they indicated to me that we did not know you at all. And when you were nominated, we thought to ourselves, who is this guy from Sierra Leone? It's a small economy, that's a local bank. And so we decided to put it out there for international voting or international recognition, as they called it. And amongst 4 people who were put out there, so the first individual had like 20 responses. Maybe those were 20 recognitions or 20 votes. The second one had about 2,000 something. And said, and you had over 3,000 plus votes. So they were really excited by this. And they were like, who is this individual that the whole world is actually interested in? But what really, spoke to them was the fact that the data on the bank, the perception of the bank, the reviews of the bank really stood out. And for me, it's putting Sierra Leone on the global stage, putting Sierra Leone on the pedestal, and making people out there understand that Sierra Leoneans can do it, and given the opportunity, we can match any other entity anywhere else. So I think it's kudos for Sierra Leone, the government and people of Sierra Leone, and for my principal, His Excellency, for allowing us to continue to operate, and for me to play that role there, and most of all, for every board member, every staff, every customer of Wakeup Commercial Bank, this actually goes out to you.
Dr. Gilpin, is this award really a recognition of, your personal leadership, or is it fundamentally recognition of, the work done behind the scene, especially with the staff you have at Wakeup Commercial Bank?
Well, definitely, when we sit here in AYV and we seeing me out there. You have people back there running the cameras, people running the studio out there, people monitoring the digital space. And so a lot of work goes in the background for them to see you and I on TV right now. So if you do well, definitely the underpinning of those really who are running the machinery behind you to make it happen. So I'm the leader has to have the vision. The vision actually has to be thought through, well construed, and then disseminated on to the leadership. And a board would then approach this vision from a very critical perspective, fine-tune it, refine it, and then give the mandate to go ahead. And then you as the leader take it to the rest of the team, let us implement. And so I think it's a joint effort, but definitely the leader has to take the lead. The leader is a risk taker, and the leader is the principal marketer. The leader is the one who actually has to have the vision, but you have to take others along with you.
International recognitions like this, create a good publicity around the individual or the institution where the individual works. How would this be translated into the works of local commercial bank here on ground for customers?
Well, you have to be able to not only walk the walk and talk the talk, but you have to be able to do what you say you would do. And I believe that we need to give out pristine customer service. All right, I always say that no one is perfect. So you aim for perfection and you get excellence, because excellence will be the next level to perfection. And so we try to be as excellent as we can. Of course, there could be times when definitely customers will not be happy on particular areas, and so we have a customer service and we have our complaint box. So we try to repair those. But the products and services that you give out there, especially in the digital space, are quite important for the customer to have the convenience to be comfortable in his or her home or in his or her office any time of the day, any time zone around the world. Go into your app, go onto your phone, go onto your computer and do your transactions. See your balances, get triggers as soon as you make a transaction, get alerts. And all of that will make you know that this is a sound bank, it's a steady bank, the bank that is actually creating an impact. Mm-hmm. So the process of the recognition doesn't only come to the leader, it comes to the institution, but then you have to deliver what you've promised you will deliver, and that's where I think the catch is. Mm-hmm.
Now, there are words that can be ascribed to you, under your leadership at Wakeup Commercial Bank. One of those words is transformation. You've spoken a lot about, transforming Wakeup Commercial Bank, transforming the banking sector. What does transformation actually, mean in numbers if we are talking about how Wakeup Commercial Bank has transformed or is transforming?
Well, in numbers, you first of all look at the critical adequacy ratios, and you see we have to have a capital adequacy, we have to have the asset balance, we have to have efficiency indicators. So what I would say is that, if I thought of it, I would have brought some data to show you. What I would say that if the data is checked on Wakeup Commercial Bank, every prudential is met. And of course, there are the prudentials that you have to recreate. But one thing I always talk about is efficiency, service delivery. Since we're regulated, for you to continue operating, you have to meet particular benchmarks. Otherwise, you'll be shut down, you'll be put under resolution, or you put under enhanced supervision by the central bank. So we're meeting all these basic requirements. But over and beyond that, the customer's perception is what I think is very, very important. So the customer perception index. So you do surveys from the customer base. Ask at random, how do you feel about the institution? How do you feel about the service? What are the products that you like best? And what kind of products would you like to see that you're not seeing? What improvements can be made on the services that they are giving out right now? How do we go beyond the formality of banking to the informal sector? How do we get the informal people on board, the informal sector on board into this particular process? How do you merge this bank into the overall macro framework? How do you get this bank to start to realize that you're contributing to the overall GDP growth of this economy, to the overall financial stability of this economy, and the monetary stability of this economy? So you move beyond banking into the overall economy itself, and then move beyond the economy into the overall household space, because the household are what make up the economy. And if you go down to the household level, what does the household want to see in banking? How can you be able to move banking? And then you have things that are completely exogenous to you, like, for example, the inflation rate, the exchange rate, the ability of foreign currency, the ability of the network system where you have to ride upon for your digital framework to work, the operation of the national switch, what is interoperability like within the economy. So there are various things that you have to work on that you can actually make sure happens, and other things that you rely on other subsets to happen. So Wakeup Commercial Bank will not operate in isolation, as it were, but basically we go out there and relate to other entities that drive, financial inclusion, drive financial efficiency, push the multiplier effect, and get banking to become, should I say, more embraced within the overall economy. I think that's what the key difference is.
What will be your assessment? Is the local commercial bank competing with other, banking institutions, or is it solely and wholly relying on, the rich history it has, whether with government or the already established customer base?
Well, I would say, as it were, the heights greatly been achieved and kept was not achieved by sudden flight. But while their compatriots slept, they were toiling all onwards in the night. Ideally, you don't rest on your oars in a sector like this because it's a competitive sector. Rocket Commercial Bank is an SOE, but however, it's not an SOE like Ports Authority or EDSA or Roads Authority that has a monopoly. We work within an environment where there is healthy competition. So you have to compete. You cannot rely on your own. You cannot have desktop banking. You have to go out there, be innovative, be creative, and keep on pushing to expand the confines of your horizon and to get more and more people on board into your subset called the bank.
Doc, so financial inclusion is often highlighted as one of your priorities. How much progress has been made over the years under your leadership to ensure that Sierra Leoneans who previously had limited access or probably no access at all to the formal banking system are now within the banking system? How much progress have you made so far?
Well, the progress can be matched probably by number of accounts upon number of customers I have actually added upon since maybe I took over to now. And within the sector itself, number of customers that are within a particular subset of the economy that have got a bank account. And you see, financial inclusion really, first of all, you have to have financial literacy and understand financial education, because inclusion is not only about having a bank account. It has to be transactional. You have to be able to utilize the products and services that are given by the financial sector, and that's when you become really financially included, when you are actively on board and utilizing these products and services. So we've gone out to the communities, in rural areas, the communities in the urban areas, to the schools, to those who are doing informal kind of activity. We've gone out to the keke riders, the okada riders, the fishermen, the hawkers, the market women, and we've been everywhere where there is a semblance of an informal sector to get them on board into formal banking. Now, you face a situation wherein cash is king in Sierra Leone, and people prefer to keep their money and play osusu within a community rather than come to a bank. So you need to get them to understand that your money is safe with the bank. There's not that much formality when you come to bank. We need to do our customer due diligence. We need to understand who you are, how you get your money, how you transact, but your money is safe in the bank. And so these communities are now beginning to respond, to banking, and you have to have products and services which would fit their expectations, which would fit their requirements. And so we go there and work with what you call like the zone leaders, or you call them the Mami King, Mami Queen, or the Papa King, and those ones who work with the communities to come on board and start banking. So it's a process that has actually worked, but there's still a lot more to do because the bankable population is still far less than the bank population in Sierra Leone.
So, Doc, let's talk about the digital banking. It's now a trend. And of course, RCB has invested heavily in digital banking. How successful has that transition been?
Well, the key thing is that we have put out a product called Rokel SIM Couple. Rokel SIM Couple, as you were, the main aim is to compare it to something like M-Pesa in East Africa, wherein everyone can have access to the money on the phone. You can transact with people who have a bank account, who don't have a bank account, and you can do all your banking in the comfort of your palm. So it's been remarkably successful, but I still think there is a lot more we can do in that area. There's a lot more people that can use this product and service, and we can grow further. But right now, people use it to do their key banking anywhere in the world, 24/7. They need to do their transfers, the balances, to pay top of EDSA. It's interfaced with Orange Money, interfaced with AfriMoney, and you can then transfer money to your Orange wallet. It's interfaced to the national switch, so you begin to do interbank transactions. And I think it's been a remarkable success. And I would love to see that grow in every other bank, because as it were, once you move it from one bank, another bank moves it, then you're helping the overall economy to be boosted and ultimately promote GDP growth.
So of course, the SIM couples seem to be doing quite well based on your submission. But let's talk about security. How secured is this Rokel SIM couple? Because we've had stories of, sophisticated fraudsters who would lodge into these apps. I don't know how these things work, but then they would have access to people's accounts and sometimes they successfully take some of these people's monies and sometimes all of it for some individuals. How secured is this Wakeup SIM couple?
Well, for right now, we have what we call multi-pronged, multi-layer security on the application. But let's look at general, cyber fraud globally, and the response to cyber fraud globally. And you have to defend yourself against intruders. Let's take, for example, your car. You will trust in the Lord, but you'll not leave the door of your car open. Your house, same thing. You lock up at night because you don't want people to break in. So similarly with the apps, you're looking at it as, these are my own portfolio, my private space. We as a bank have to keep it safe. So we are constantly improving on security. In the global landscape, you'll find out that they are constantly monitoring cyber attacks, cyber fraud, and they have ethical hackers who come around and try to ensure you, through a pen test, how vulnerable your platform is or it is not. So you always try to put in more and more defenses to work against intruders. Intruders are going to come. That's their job. Our job is to protect our space. And so we're constantly putting in place new security features to halt, or to slow down these particular attacks. Of course, every crisis teaches us what we did not learn from a previous crisis. Even in the whole world, you have global crises, you have epidemics, you have pandemics, and these happen because of various reasons. And we learn from this experience, and we put in place checks and balances and security features to prevent that particular gap. And if another gap comes in, we look away to prevent it. So we're constantly updating security. We don't do it alone, we do it together in the sector. We're always hanging heads, all the banks, through the central bank. We're working together as a team to make sure we can reduce the incidence of fraud. But I must say that globally, attacks happen, even in the most secure environment in the international community. It's our duty to try to work against this and to constantly update our systems to put in place checks and balances. So customers will notice at times, you try to log in and you will get an alert saying there's an update. The update normally will include some security patches, and those ones will be something we've noticed that we have to put in to further safeguard the customer. So it's always a work in progress.
Have you ever had an instance where a customer would come and complain of a fraud, of a fraudster that has gained access to his or her account?
Yes, it will come. At times it's within your family. At times it's your friend, at times it's somebody that you don't know. So the complaints come and we have to investigate, and we have to try our best to make sure we can find out what happened, what's the source of this, and make sure we put in place a mechanism to forestall this. But there are times when the customer themselves could be rather careless. You've had your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your daughter, your son, see your password, monitor you, observe what you're doing, in your absence, they try to breach that security and try to make transactions. So you definitely come and complain. You don't know who this is. Then we use our own method of investigation forensically to find out what happened. In the instant that it's a complete unknown, intruder that came to this, we go further down and drill down to know where the attack came from, how it happened, and try to put in place checks and balances to forestall that.
So Dr. Gippin, let's talk about something that most people talk about, people who bank in these banks, and interest rates. It's a major concern for business people, especially those who come to the banks for loan and all that. What is Wakeup Commercial Bank doing to ensure that even more Sierra Leoneans gain access to these loans without having to pay ridiculously high amounts of interest?
Okay, of course I say we're in a competitive environment. So it's up to any bank to be able to reduce their interest rates to get more customers to take loans, and also give an interest rate that would not burden the customer to pay the debt back. But as I said before, we operate within an economy, and there are things that are completely exogenous to the bank. For example, the inflation rate, exchange rates, policy rates, and these things are all triggers with which we would piggyback upon to determine our own lending rates. So we will do our best to make it as comfortable as possible, but times the factors beyond the control of the banks could make the rate at a particular level. But then again, it's competitive. So if any bank thinks that, yes, I think we've worked hard enough, we can bring the rate further down, you bring it down, and then the customer says, oh, Bank X is giving me a lower rate than you, then you would match it. And that way, I think you begin to bring the rate lower, lower, and lower. But ideally, working in an environment that has different factors that determine the interest rate that we charge.
Dr. Gippin, when you say the bankable population is still far less than the bank population we have, what do you mean?
I mean that, let's say, the bank population is about maybe, let's say we have a percentage of unbanked people, probably about 50%, of something percent unbanked. And that is what we go to target for financial inclusion. I think it's even more than that. But because we've been improving this indicator, I don't want to say it is like 70%, but we're trying to make more people come on board now that don't have bank accounts, for them to have bank accounts. That's the unbanked population. And the potential in the unbanked population is quite diverse. You know, and that sector is really a sector that has to be closely monitored, mainly the informal sector. And that's where the money is at also. I mean, if you look within 2-3 square miles in center of Freetown, that's where you have a lot of money dealers, foreign currency changes. And this is the heart of these transactions. Those guys, you need to get them on board to come into the banking sector. Let's take, for example, the WAFs. You have fishermen all over the place. Take, for example, the provinces. You have the people doing farming all over the place. And most of them deal with cash. And that's the unbanked population that we want to get on board. It's easier to get like the young students to come on board, but the informal sector, people who are doing activity, those who are going with the cashew nuts to Guinea, those who are going with the palm oil to Guinea, those who are going across to Liberia, how many of them have bank accounts? They hold the money in bundles, or they give an agent here, they go collect the equivalent over in the next country. But if you have a bank account that operates across borders, then you can easily put the money in your account. When you go over there, use your device and extract money and pay. But we need to get to that point where people are comfortable in doing this and comfortable in trusting the financial sector to help them to transact across borders of Sierra Leone.
What would you say will be some of the factors responsible for this? Even an institution like yours that, you know, has branches right across the country, and you're talking of, you know, the digitization phase and era. You know, if people are finding it hard to, you know, to come to the bank, we have these digital services that the bank is already providing. Why are people in the informal sector still finding it difficult, you know, using the bank and these digitalization, you know, processes within the banking system?
I guess it's about the harmonization of the financial services across sub-region. For example, if I travel now, I have my prepaid card, and I load my prepaid card here, it's a Visa card. Anywhere I go in the sub-region, with the exception of 1 or 2 countries and 1 or 2 banks, I use my card. So I hardly would take cash, even out of the ATM, if I'm going to a particular country, because I understand this particular card I have can help me to transact. But of course, there are charges involved when you do a transaction, small fees for transactions, small commissions here and there. Exchange rate may be what you consider favorable or unfavorable. So the trader now who is taking bills of cashew nuts or gallons of palm oil across is thinking, okay, I'm going to buy palm oil from another village. I'm going to sell it in the local market. Will that person have a POS machine for me to pay with my card? Will that person have a bank account for me to transfer? And if I'm going in the country where they do transfers, am I on that ecosystem also to transfer? So if we have interoperability now, I know that, okay, my money I have in my wallet here, my Orange wallet here, or in my Wakeup Bank's e-copper wallet, I can do a remittance for that in Guinea, and the person receives equivalent in CFA for my transaction, then they will do it quite easily. But because we're not hooked up on that particular system, we think we need to give cash. So if interoperability is easier and seamless, then more people are going to come on board because they want to try it, see that it works. Once they realize it works, then they go for it. You see, if I go to Ghana or Liberia, I use my prepaid card. Okay, to put the taxis, maybe they don't have a POS machine, I have to get some cash and give them. But otherwise, I would use my Wakeup Bank device over there because I've tested it and I know that it works. And I know that there'll be a bit of charges here and there, and I know what number to call if I have a problem. But the comfort that the average person has in using cash so far has to be superseded by the expected service delivery that we'll get from using a digital platform, which we have, which work. But interoperability across borders is what we have to get right. With a Visa card, with a VAV card, you can use it quite easily. But then you want to know if I go to an informal corner to do a transaction, would it work? Or would they have an equivalent POS machine or a device that can read my device and do a transaction exchange?
Now, Sierra Leone, you know, many people struggle with, you know, operating smartphones, you know, even having internet access or the very issue of digital literacy. Are we genuinely digitizing bank or the banking system in this country, or are we simply just moving services around for people to access?
No, we're genuinely upgrading services to the digital space. And with the national switch on board, You know, you can use USSD code, USSD, as long as you have a mobile network operator. With our internet, you can use USSD and do your transaction. So the platform is there. The services are being created, they're being strengthened, they're being deepened, and the work. So if you talk to most people who are in Wakeup Bank, they have Wakup's SIM couple. On SIM couple, they can do e-couple transactions quite easily. For example, if I need to send you cash right now, and you are not a Wakeup Bank customer, I can use my Wakeup Bank SIM couple platform to send you an e-couple to your wallet on your phone. And you get it just like any other alert on your phone. Now, you can take that money from my e-couple, which comes from Wakeup Commercial Bank, and push it from your phone into your Orange wallet. And I would sit there now, you now have money in your Orange wallet coming from somebody or the bank account, maybe did not use Orange system to send to you. So that is the interconnectivity quite easily. And I can now use my phone from my Wakeup Commercial Bank to pay her if she has an Orange wallet. I can go directly to instant payment, which is all on the switch, and pay directly to her Orange money from my platform. Now she can go to the village, any rural community where the Orange money agents, and do her transaction right there. She can transfer now from her Orange wallet to a transaction. So it is really growing. We're working in the digital space. We're trying to make it better for our customers. And most of all, I can assure you that more people get on board, more people understand this, because as I said, we have to piggy bank on the MNOs, because they will have the mobile network connectivity. We have the financial service platform. So we sit together underneath the switch and we move this transaction. So yes, it's happening. And it's really happening.
How much has the Wakeup Commercial Bank invested in digital transformation? And what measurable return has that investment produced?
Well, they're quantifiable and non-quantifiable returns. We invested significantly in the digital space, quite significantly. Initially, we came on board and we had to update our core banking system. That also cost quite a lot. We had to invest in the digital applications. That cost a lot. We had to invest in our e-banking applications, like our ATM machines, our POS machines, our card system, our Visa system. That also cost a lot. Now, the return is that the customer using that has satisfaction. Of course, they pay commissions on every transaction. We gather the pennies from those transactions. And with any project, you don't initially have all the profit right there. Over a period of time, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, you start to see the huge returns coming in. And the confidence that the public would have in the bank, even the international community has in the bank, for them to look at Wakeup Commercial Bank and award the CEO, award the bank itself, this shows that what we've invested is actually having an impact, is being seen, is being read through, and I think like the attention is being drawn to Sierra Leone's financial sector.
Doc, I want to take you back to loans.
Loans, okay.
So let's talk about and I also want to talk about women here. You know, when we talk of microcredit loans, we think women, because most of these women at Abacha State, you know, doing their small businesses, they open their accounts in these banks with the hope that when they need loans, when they need microcredit loans, they can get. What is the current interest rate percentage on microcredit loans at the Wakeup Commercial Bank?
To be in the early 20s.
Pardon?
Early 20s, 20%.
And
21%.
And you think that's okay for our small businesses?
Well, in the sector, I mean, you can have a comparable like rate check and see what the rates are with the other entities. But then, as I said, there are other factors beyond which we have no control. Inflation rates, probability of default, the exchange rates, other costs involved, and also mid rates, we might say monetary policy rate, overnight borrowing rate, all the things that it's a composite factor that we put together to get the interest rate. So if within that particular framework, other rates are coming down, definitely that rate would also come down. And as it were right now, you can also say, okay, how can we bring the rates down? Can bring the rates down if other, macro fundamentals also drop. Because you also look at the probability of defaults. For if you give out 100 loans, to 10 people, what's the probability of getting the 100 loans back plus interest? So you kind of factor a small percentage in for that probability of loss. And we also have to be sure that the entity that's borrowing the money from you is going to use it for the reason they said they have to use it. So you have to go out there and see the environment, understand what they want to use it for, see the expected inflow, see their potential to make a profit and to earn that money back and pay. So yes, that is the rate we're using right now, and I guess it's work in progress. We'll try to bring the rate down also to help businesses, and of course the bank itself is a going concern because we have to try and make a bit of profit
I don't know if you've heard this, but rumors have it that when people go to banks for loan, they'll later be asked, informally though, to give the bankers a certain percentage of the total amount of money that they'll be lending from the bank. I don't know if you've had such rumors or if you've ever had the need to deal with such a situation in your bank.
No customers complained to me about that, I must say. If that pertains and is brought to my attention, it will not be tolerated. So having had that from you, I'm going to try to investigate if that's what happens. But no one has complained to me that they've been approached by any of our loan officers asking for a bit of the loan amount to be given to them. But if that is brought to my attention, definitely will not tolerate that.
So how much of RCB's lending is currently going to women-owned businesses and young entrepreneurs?
Well, we have an SME unit. SME unit is actually looking to work on MSME, micro, small, and medium enterprises. And one of their key focus is women, all right, in this regard. So they go out there to the shops, to the hairdressing salons, to the marketplaces, to the wharfs, and look for women. And women operate most times in communities. And so they have the community head that work with them. We've been to Funke, I've been to Lombley, we've been to Dovecourt, we've been to Kisi Road, we've been to the provinces, Bo, Kenema, we've been up to even Falaba. We've been there to get women folk to come on board. So the effort is being made. The results are not always what you like it to be, I mean, as far as the returns are concerned, but the effort is being put on women in business, and the SME unit is working very actively in that regard.
Well, one thing I've noticed is that most of these women who do these small businesses, you know, hawk and stuff, many a times are not educated. They're not lettered. And so don't you think bureaucracy in the banking system is like a barrier, you know, to some of these women? They might want to come to the bank, they might want to have they might want to have accounts, they might want to, of course, come for loans and the like. But then at some point they get scared. What is the bank doing? What is Wakeup Commercial Bank doing to create an enabling environment for these women who might be scared to walk into the bank and say, okay, probably speaking their local language, if they cannot understand Creole, what is the bank doing to create that enabling environment for such women, the ones I've just described?
Yeah, one thing we did was initiate the T-shirts on Thursdays. Although Wakeup Bank did, and many of the banks have followed that trend.
For the staff at the bank?
Yes,
okay.
So the bank. That is like what we call the marketing day, the day you appear in a dress-down manner, so the average person on the street would see you and think, I can relate to this person, rather than the suit and tie or the real dress suit that makes or intimidates the kind of people you're talking about. And secondly, over and above that, they play Osusu. All the time, these people, they have Osusu, and they know what it means to put money in a basket and they get your portion at a particular time. And they have the Osusu agent, the lead agent, who they might call the Mami Queen. So the bank can devise products that are similar to Osusu and say, okay, rather than you do your Osusu out there, do the Osusu with the bank. So gradually you bring them in and you bring them on board. Yes, they may not speak English, or they may not speak Creole, they may not speak Timini, they will solely speak Mende, or they will speak Fula, but in the bank we have people speaking every language, and those relate to those particular people. But every document is in English anyway. They have to sign something in English. So you have to have somebody who can read English and explain to them, for them to sign this covenant. That's why they work in groups. Even the guys riding the Okadas, try to get them to work in groups. So at times you have an entity that will come and take maybe a loan for 100 Okadas. I mean, that's just an arbitrary figure, and give it to these guys. As they ride the pay, ultimately they pay off and they go with the bikes. In those instances, most times, the guarantor will actually ensure everything is paid. Similarly, the women that you're talking about, they'll have the head lady who is the guarantor, and they work a lot with the SME unit. So I think at some point in time, we'll have the SME unit even come here and have a chat with you so you can see how deeply we go into these particular women who may be illiterate, but they may not be numerate, but they understand financial management because they do Osusu. They sell every day. They can add the balances. They can give a change to somebody who buys from them. They can keep money to get new stock. They can keep money to go to another type of business. So they have some understanding of figures, anyway, of money, and we piggyback on that, take them to the level where I feel they can understand, and give them facilities.
What would you say is the biggest challenge facing the banking sector in Sierra Leone today?
I think, of course, as I said, we work within an environment wherein you have a lot of need for forex. It's an export, it's an import, inelastically imported oriented economy. So there's a lot of demand for forex. I think that's one critical area that is the problem. The other area will be the probability of default when you give out loans. And that default impacts the capital base of a bank, impacts the profit of a bank. If you default, the bank has a provision for that. That's critically significant for any bank in this country. So I think generally, then of course, we're embedded within the normal cost of the economy, but I think the foreign exchange and the probability of default in loans are two critical things that can impact the bank.
Dr. Gilpin, what percentage of local commercial banks' lending currently goes to SMEs?
The SME has its own portfolio. Okay, and there is a particular approved figure that they managed, and that's quite significant. So if you look at the percentage of the larger portfolio, you have some big customers. So at least you have about 20% that should go to SMEs, and they're within that envelope. So it keeps on revolving over time. I think we can even do more if we realize that the sector is really growing up real big, but the SME unit is there dedicated for that purpose. And so they operate within their resource envelope, and they operate within the overall strategy of the bank, and they try to bring in more customers in that particular area. So there's a dedicated team working on SMEs in the bank.
Are the interest rates on these loans affordable for these SMEs?
Yes, we just had a chat with my lady on the other side, and I think we do pretty okay in that regard. Try to bring it down to single digits at some point in time, but of course these are variables that I said work within the overall economy, and we try to see how we can work within those variables to bring it down to single digits.
And also there's another thing, that the banking sector is becoming increasingly competitive. Now that you having mobile companies or institutions also using financial services, you also have fintech, and now we have the payment suite, which means that a lot of the money that could have gone to the banking sector will now move around without even reaching the banking sector. Is this a concern for the banking sector?
Well, I think it gives the banking sector an opportunity to become more creative, more innovative, and to be able to go out there with less cost and easy access. But again, the sector is quite regulated, and so we have to know our customers quite well, and we have to know the customer's source of funds. We have to know how the customer is doing business, because these are things that are expected by the regulator. I don't know how much customer due diligence is done on the other side, but I believe it's also done on the other side. But because those are done through MNOs and everybody has a phone, everybody runs around with the phone, but with the phone, it's easier for them to piggyback on that. But the banking sector has its own strength also. Can give you a bigger loan, we can guide you on your deposits, we can guide you upon growing your money, and you can be able to get, I think, a lot more services from a bank. And we see this particular development as an opportunity to step beyond into that space. You see, I spoke about the SIM card, we have the e-card, we have the e-wallet, and they have a lot of interoperability between the MNO's wallet and the banks. So you can move money around quite easily. So from a bank account, easily goes to Orange wallet or to Afri wallet and even Q wallet, and you can get that money coming back into the bank. So there's a lot of movement around. So all we do is, okay, they got that space, work with them to expand that space. And as I said before, there's a large unbanked population, which gives us space to work. And so we go out there, we have similar products and services, we give it to the customers. As long as the customer can access the funds from any agent, almost anywhere, they're comfortable to do it. Move from your account to Orange Wallet quite easily. Move from Orange Wallet to your account quite easily. Move from your account to Afri Wallet quite easily. And so when customers realize that this can be done, very easily everybody will come on board every aspect of the game.
What is local commercial bank's biggest weakness today, if you are to look at it?
Biggest weakness? Interesting, eh? Think about the weakness. I would say we need to move even faster. We've done all what we've done, but you can't rest on your oars. We have to improve and run faster. So at times I think that we've run so fast, we tend to look back and say, okay, yes, who's there, who's coming, and that can waste time. We need to constantly be on the beat and be on that go. So I think that could be one of the key weaknesses, always trying to move faster. We need to move faster all the time.
And finally, for me, as we close, if you, Dr. Ekunda, were to be forced to choose between, increasing the bank's profit and making banking more affordable and accessible for Sierra Leoneans, which would you choose?
Well, you can say you don't want the bank to make a loss, okay? But you can maybe take a small reduction in profits to make sure that the services could go to the people a bit more. We're a quasi-government entity. I always say it's a bank of the people, by the people, and for the people. So yes, we can reduce the profits. We don't want to make a lot. We have to pay dividend to our shareholders, dividend to government to serve, dividend to the people who have shares in the bank. But we also think about the wider space. It's our responsibility to improve banking, improve the financial sector. It's our ability to deepen financial intermediation, to create more financial access points, to have more people have access to finance. It's a responsibility to improve efficiency in banking. So wherever we need to take a cut for the public to actually have a better service, we would do that, but not take a cut to make a loss.
So I was also going to ask before Bokari came up with that. Wakeup Commercial Bank is obviously a majority state-owned bank. So my question is, how do you balance commercial profitability with the responsibility of serving national interests? And also, how do you ensure that political interference do not influence your lending, schemes?
Yes, capabilities, or the banking sector within policies within Wakeup Commercial Bank?
We're a regulated entity. We're regulated by the central bank. Central bank has no sacred cows. Okay? You mess up, you don't meet the credentials, you're warned. You're put under enhanced supervision, you don't meet, then they shut you down. Okay, so we don't want to be shut down. We're not like it too big to fail kind of bank, but we have to make sure we work within the confines of the regulatory laws. So in as much as we want to say, okay, yes, it's an SOE, we also realize that we are regulated. So because we are regulated, there is no room for that kind of error. Otherwise, the central bank is going to come at you. And that's why we have to operate in line with other banks that are non-government banks. So the fact the government owns this bank doesn't give us any special dispensation to mess up. We always have to make sure we meet the prudentials, we meet the efficiency ratios, and we work according to the prudential guidelines that will be given by the regulator.
Finally, as we close down with you, Doc, where do you want to see RCB in the next 5 years?
I want to see RCB, of course, international.
So you intend to go beyond Sierra Leone?
Yes, I would love to see that. RCB is within the sub-region, the other country, operating now as an international bank. Just as the international banks came to Sierra Leone and operated as international banks, I'm sure we're not the first port of call for those banks, but still, we have to start somewhere. I love to see that. I love to see it being a leading bank in technology, as we know, in the digital space, in efficiency, and I love to see Wakeup Commercial Bank staff be seen as internationally acclaimed bankers. All right, because banking is a profession. You have to show that you're a professional banker. I have this medal here. This is actually a certified banker from the Nigerian Institute of Certified Bankers. And I want to see more Sierra Leoneans like that. I want to see more Sierra Leoneans seen as sound banking financial professionals on a global stage. And that's why whenever I'm awarded internationally, I go there not as Ekunda Gilpin, but as a Sierra Leonean professional.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Waltin Ekunda Gilpin, and once again, congratulations on your award.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's take a quick commercial break now, and then when we come back, we're going to the second segment of the show.
More and more people are using Wakeup SIM Copper Plus in their everyday lives. Did you hear that? She just transferred money for her daughter's school fees. And this man just paid for some products. Ah, Mr. Abu, are you sending money to your wife again?
Yes, Wakeup SIM Copper.
Ah.
Yes, like having money in my pocket.
Ah, excellent.
Thank you.
He just bought some eggs. The world is digital, so keep up with the times. Have you got a payment to make? If so, just download Wakeup SIM Copper Plus now. You can download the Wakeup SIM Copper Plus app from Apple iStore and iPad or Google Play Store for Android users. You see, it's fast, safe and reliable.
Here's how to load your AfriMoney Visa card. Dial *161 *5 *4 hash. Press 2. Enter account ID on the back of your Visa card. Enter the last 4 digits on the card. Enter the amount. Enter your AfriMoney PIN. Please securely save your PIN to prevent unauthorized transactions from your card. For more information, call 088 326 326. AfriMoney prepaid Visa card. Safe, simple, accepted everywhere.
All right, welcome back. You're still watching and listening to Wake Up Sierra Leone on AYV television and radio. Now, don't forget to send in your comment and ask your questions to our AYV News Facebook page and be part of the conversation. Let's now go over to entertainment. Now, from Sierra Leone to Nigeria, our creatives keep etching the country's name into the regional entertainment map. TikTok sensation and actor Peter Komba is back in the spotlight, this time for a starring role in the much anticipated Nollywood crossover, uniting some of the industry's biggest marquees name in the film industry, titled Uncanny Love. It's premiering to Sierra Leonean audiences right here in Freetown. Our entertainment correspondent Hannah Yangsin has more on the story.
From viral TikTok skits to the sound stages of major Nigerian productions, Peter Komba's cross-border accent shows no sign of slowing. But this isn't just a personal breakthrough. Komba has consistently used his expanding platform as cultural ambassadorship, introducing Nollywood peers and audiences alike to Sierra Leone's heritage and artistic vibrancy. Now he adds another credit to his filmography with Uncanny Love, produced by Chinenye Onebu, starring alongside Nollywood heavyweights Emanuela Iloba and a formidable supporting ensemble.
If tomorrow brings us sorrow.
Hey fam! On today's episode, I will be teaching you guys 5 red flags. Red flags about a man.
So you allowed her into our kitchen, a girl who knows nothing about hygiene.
I'm coming from the village, very far distant village, Umudoanyi, in Ole-Etiti community.
Hey.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My God will bless you.
And my God will punish you. If you try me, I will clap your head off.
For Komba, this isn't merely another acting credit. It's a fresh platform to spotlight Sierra Leonean talent on a continental stage, carrying the country's flag into every frame. And the buzz isn't confined to Lagos. Freetown is bracing for a full weekend of festivities built around the release. Festivities open August 28th with a meet and greet at Chapter 1 nightclub, giving fans face time with the cast ahead of the big reveal. Then, the main event. The official red carpet premiere lands August 29th at Golden Beach Cinema, where cinema goers turn out to back one of the country's rising exports to Nollywood. Celebrations round out August 30th at the Miata Civic Center, extending the experience to another landmark venue in the capital.
That madness, you bring it out, so behave yourself.
Madness? Are you sure, Ma? Because you don't look mad to me. Mad people roam the streets. You don't live in a fancy house.
You don't have to. I can actually do it myself.
Chukwaju. God forbid that I, a woman, will be in a house and let a man cook. Wow.
Wait! Rihanna just followed me. Wait! Rihanna? See her. Brother Jakul!
That's my brother Jakul.
Clear road, Mama. I want gem for you.
With a stacked cast, Sierra Leone's footprint in Nollywood deepening by the year, and Comba once again flying the flag abroad, Uncanny Love is shaping up as a homecoming moment. What's the hype? The takeaway is unmistakable. Sierra Leonean talent isn't just thriving at home, it's commanding center stage regionally. And this time, Freetown gets a front row seat to the celebration. Hannah Yangsin, AYV News, Freetown.
Thanks to Hannah Yangsin for that report. So this morning, to discuss more on the premiering of this movie this weekend at the Golden Beach Cinema and the Miata Civic Center, we have in our studios Afame
Funa John.
I can't say I will miss the name.
Afame Funa.
Yes, we have Pastor John with us. We also have the producer, one of the producers, Ike Owuka.
Yeah,
that one I should get it.
Just say Ike.
And we have the Isho Bayo, who is also an actor in this movie. Pastor John, good morning and welcome to AYV.
Good morning, my brother. Good morning, sis.
Good morning.
Yes.
Pastor John, let's talk briefly about this movie. What's different about Uncanny Love, and what's the story all about?
The story is around love, but the story is not the main vision. The vision is the collaboration between Nigeria and Sierra Leone. Most of the people that knows me have been here in Sierra Leone for more than 6 years in the entertainment industry, and a time came when I felt like, okay, for us to go beyond Sierra Leone, we need a collaboration between Nollywood and Sierra Leone industry, because we have a lot of talent here. We ourselves discover a lot of talent through AYV films. So the key here is how do we collaborate between Nollywood and then Sierra Leone industry to move our local movie industry here to international stage. So that is what it's all about more.
What difference will this movie make? I'm asking because, this is not the first collaboration or crossover we're seeing between Sierra Leone talent and Nigeria talent. We've seen that even as early as, after the war. We saw, movies like Blood Diamond, an attempt to have a crossover of Nigerian Sierra Leonean actors. Ambassador Anthony Navo Jr. and the AYV films did that with a couple of movies. But the movie industry has grown, CD and beyond the number. We now have, social media and, of course, the new giants, Netflix and other platforms in the business. How different will this be?
Okay, this one is going to be different because there is already a template and a vision for consistency. Because most of the time when you don't have a vision, if anything come on the way, you can easily give up. But we already have a template and a vision on the consistency. And also one of the biggest challenge we have in the Sierra Leone industry is distribution. So this is going to make a difference because we're not limiting it to just come and premiere movie and go. So we want the consistency where it will be back to back, because after this premiere, we're having another premiere of the same collaboration next October. We're having another premiere of the same collaboration November. We're having another premiere of the same collaboration December. So the consistency and then opening the distribution network. Because we have investors who want to put their money. But if I put my money, how do I make the money back? So the difference this is bringing is the template we have, the vision we have for consistency, and the distribution network we want to open for the industry.
All right. Let me bring in Ike. Ike, now you will know this, of course, that the African film industry is coming under criticism that we're producing quantity instead of quality, especially now with the advent of YouTube and, filmmakers making money independently of their project on YouTube rather than relying on the normal distribution chain and platforms. What makes this project different, that people might not see it as, oh, this is just another normal YouTube production, people want to make money out of?
Well, thank you very much for having me. The thing is, this project, the Sierra Leone Nigerian project, like what my brother said, I think what it's been lacking is consistency. They do projects and then they wait for months before they do another one. So it doesn't really catch on. So I live in London, and the angle we're trying to come from is collaborate with Sierra Leone, Nigeria, and bring them to London so that we can show other communities that are not just Sierra Leoneans and Nigerians the kind of talents we have. And apart from YouTube, we also have other streaming platforms now that is not Netflix that are willing to take quality movies. So that's the angle we're trying to go. We're trying to do something new, bring talent from Africa to London, and then let them showcase their real talent so that the world can see them, so that they're not boxed into the corner.
So Ike, when people do movies, I'm sure they do it for profit.
Yeah.
This is business.
Yes, of course.
And Sierra Leonean films have not gone global as we would want them to be. You're now collaborating. This is nice. This is Nollywood and Sollywood collaboration.
Yeah.
How important is Sierra Leone in the commercial success of this movie, Uncanny Love?
Okay, thank you. If you check the social media strength of 3 of the cast, among them they have over 12 million followers just on TikTok, among the 3 of them. Now, if we leverage on their social media power, these 3 people, and put this out, we're thinking that not just Sierra Leoneans or Nigerians or just Africans. For example, Peter Komba, if you go on his TikTok, you would find out that he has so many followers from India, from Malaysia, so many followers from Jamaica and Haiti. So this is the era where social media, word, news, everything spreads so fast. I'm sure by the time I leave this studio, what we're having here is going to be all over the place in London. So that's social media. So we're trying to leverage the power of social media and the power these guys have to be able to kickstart what has never really happened between Sierra Leone and Nigeria. So, and the work is good. You need to go watch the movie so that you can tell that this is different. It's a beautiful love story.
Maybe I will also come in from there, because there's a question he asks, and there's a question you ask. Maybe I will put a bit light there, because when you're talking about, you talked something about, is it the profit?
Commercial success.
The commercial success that gives Sierra Leone, like what he's saying now. You can imagine when, whatever that is happening here now, people that are following Peter from India are seeing what is going on around. Even as they are on their way now, they are in the airport making videos, sending all over the world. People, I've met people that when you tell them about some certain part of Africa, they say they don't know it.
Yeah.
You understand? I've met people that I came from Sierra Leone. I say, Sierra, where is Sierra Leone? You get. But when the person is following this person and this thing is happening in Sierra Leone, it can even bring in investors.
Exactly.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
And then too, when this thing that we're doing now start moving, it creates job opportunities. Like in Nigeria now, Nollywood industry employed over 1 million or 2 million people directly. And those people, they have families, they have wife and kids, and then, so when you're talking about only Nollywood industry has given up to 10 million people food. 2 million directly and maybe 8 million indirectly. Now, when this is duplicated here, that means we're creating job opportunity, moving the youth out of the street. Those who want to be makeup artists, those who want to be costumiers, those who want to be actors, actresses, those who want to be a DOP, sound man, and all that. So the collaboration and what we're doing, the economic side of it is going to create job opportunities, and it's going to also, open up investors coming into the country. Then from your own side, where you're talking about, I remember what you said, and it's gone over me, like the quantity of the movie we do.
Yeah.
You have to understand something about Africa. Africa, when it comes to distribution, we are still struggling. Do you understand? Now, if we don't do this kind of quantity of movie we are doing, we will not be able to cover. If I want to make a film now, and I say I want to do $500 million or $500,000 to make a film, where am I going to sell that movie? Did you understand? There is no platform in Africa that can buy a movie $1 million. So I can invest, I will not be able to invest, even if I have it, I will not be able to invest $500,000 to make a film because I don't know where I'm going to make the money. So I would prefer putting maybe my $7,000, $8,000, make a film, and I get maybe $3,000, $4,000, I'll be able to do another. So with YouTube, if I put $7,000, $10,000, I know I can recover my money in less than 3 weeks. So then for that to move, for that business to move, I will keep producing. So, and then I will reduce my quality of what I'm doing. Not that I cannot do the Hollywood standard, but it costs more money. And if I put that money, where do I get it back? So whatever Hollywood is doing, we can do. But the point is that we're looking at our market per time.
So are you admitting that you're focusing on quantity rather than quality here?
Pardon?
Are you admitting that you're focusing on quantity instead of quality?
There is, even that quantity still have quality, because there is no element of the movie, whatever angle or character that we're not putting in there. The picture quality are okay, the sound are okay, the location wise. So whatever you say, is still quality. But in our own context, in our own consuming platform, like, you get what I'm saying? Because sometimes when we want to compare quality, we're not looking at the way Hollywood do those movies.
The way they did Titanic.
So those ones is a high level production, which costs a lot, takes a lot of time. It can take you like 4 years, 3 years to organize them. Maybe the actor you want to use in a particular story, you have to train the actor to fit in on a certain, so it costs you money. So investing in that kind of a thing, no individual can do it. It must be a studio, a company.
Okay. Let me bring you in, Ishobi. You're an actor in The Uncanny Love. What was it like? I mean, was it challenging working alongside Nigerian actors and filmmakers? Did you have to change your style to fit into the Nollywood environment?
Actually, Ishobi Mbayo is a Sierra Leone Nollywood actor. And I am with this production because I know what they are trying to do for Sierra Leone. Like he said earlier, my producer said earlier, we're going to premiere, like, before this year ends, we're going to premiere like 3 movies. And fortunately, I'm part of those 2 movies that will be premiering after this one. Uncanny Love, I was there, I saw how it's all happened. And I know the producers, the crew members, they put Uncanny Love together very well, thinking about talking about the storyline, the casting, thinking about our own Peter Komba, together with the likes of Emanuela and that of Chinyere, you understand? But as an actor, I was not part of this very movie, but this is my production, so I'm here to support because mine is coming. This is a mission, you understand? We want to see how best to bring Nollywood into Sierra Leone. You get it? And for us to see how best to help the Sierra Leone movie industry to do well. Because we have potentials, I will tell you, we have gifts, we have gifted actors. See the likes of Peter Komba, he went to Nollywood, he went to Nigeria. We have millions of actors, but he was able to succeed. And also Ishobi Mbayo, thank God I was able to succeed. So I am with this Nigerian production in collaboration with Sierra Leone because I know what they are bringing home.
What do you think think it's the problem with the Sierra Leone movie industry? Because we've been doing movies for the longest time, and we don't seem to be breaking through. Do you think it's because we have a smaller population compared to a country like Nigeria or Ghana or South Africa, where African actors are going global and they're making money out of movies? What do you think is the biggest barrier to our films getting to where we would like to see them?
Yeah, the population is one of it, but it's not just all of it. I think we have great Sierra Leone movies, trust me, but maybe the platform which this team is trying to do, we don't have platform to showcase our movies. The consistency, maybe you have a good movie today, but people will have to wait for 3, 4, 5 months, and it doesn't work like that in Nollywood, you see. So the population, but I think the platform which this team is trying to bring to Sierra Leone movie industry.
So it is your belief that this collaboration is going to take, if not all our actors, but some of our very good actors to the global stage, and people are going to know them. For instance, Nigeria, you have a population of over 200 million. Over 200 million. Yeah. So now our actors are going to have a bigger platform through Uncanny Love. What does this mean for the industry in Sierra Leone?
It means a lot. That's why I'm with the team. I believe in this team, and it's going to be a breakthrough. Trust me. Like he said, you see, one of the things that help a country to be well known, I think, is entertainment.
Sure.
You understand?
Sure.
If we know Nigeria today, is because of the stories they have been telling us. The culture. You can even speak Igbo language. You've not been to Nigeria because you've heard it or you've seen they are doing it on TV or in movies. So this is going to help us a lot. You understand? It will help us a lot as industry and even as country, because trust me, in movie making we have a lot of employment. You have the continuity, the makeup artists. All that is going to help the country. You understand?
Okay, John, let me bring you in. You're the producer for this movie. Of course, Peter Komba is a household name.
Yeah.
Everybody now knows Peter Komba in Sierra Leone and beyond. But yes, you're saying the collaboration between Nigeria and Sierra Leone in this Uncanny Love will take Sierra Leonean actors to a different level.
Yeah.
We do have very good actors here in Sierra Leone. They're not known because they probably don't have the platform as of now. How do you intend to look out for these talented actors who may not be known now, but you want to get the best to take them and give them a bigger platform? How do you intend to go about this?
Okay. Thank you for that question. Like we said, this is not just a movie we're coming to premiere. It's like we're coming for a bigger business. He's my brother. He lives in UK. Do you understand? He's an EP. So when I told him about the country, he flew down yesterday just to come, because what we want to do is we're not going to carry everybody along now, but we're going to pick some. If it's 10, if it's 15, we'll move them down, because what people don't know is, like you say, yes, we have some little population here, but there was a time that I knew when Sierra Leone movie makes up to $50,000. When you make, I know some of our brothers who produce movie here, and in a week they make $50,000. Sierra Leone local movie.
So it's a lucrative business.
You understand? Only in Sierra Leone, the movie did not go out of Sierra Leone, and it was consistent. But what happened was, the guy that was doing it, his name is Blaise. When he died, no one followed up. And then when the piracy came in with the DVD, Mexico films and all that, that really now affected the consistency you get. So what we want to do now is, we are coming in as EPs, producers, and also investors, picking up the talented ones who are ready to humble themselves, because this is a business. Because you can't pick up somebody and then when you make him tomorrow, you can't talk to that person. You understand? So we are coming with this movie. We pick up some people that we're going to work with, take them down there, because like Nigeria is a big platform. Peter Komba is there. And many people don't know Peter Komba is a Sierra Leonean. Some people thought he's a Nigerian. So there are people who bring in them. When you collaborate with them with Nigerian known actor, if the person is good and he has his grades that work for him, people now follow. So it's really going to open up. What is going to happen now is explosion. We show our target is 2 years. Saloon movie will be up there. That is our own target.
Pastor John, as we round off now, what are you asking Sierra Leoneans to bring or to support this weekend about this movie? Are you asking for them to support a movie, an industry, or a business venture?
I think I want all Sierra Leoneans to come out because we are to support us. Let them come out to support us, because you can imagine that this is our brother who invests his money to see that, okay, Afam, you told me about this country, I believe you, and he's ready to put like $30,000 to see, and then fly down to come and see what you're telling me. So it will be a disappointing thing that he entered the hall that day and the hall is scanty. It will be a disappointing thing that, okay, I'm trying to come and invest here and the people are not even receptive, they are not even supportive. So why are you disturbing my peace? Let us go back and keep on investing in our country. Do you understand? So I want Sierra Leonean to tell him that, no, we are here because we have done it before. If people would do movie here and in 5 days they're making $50,000, that means, and they are Sierra Leoneans, we can replicate that again. So let them come out. I want them to come out in mass. The VIP is tomorrow by 6 p.m. at Golden Beach. Let them come out there. We want to do like 3 different premiere tomorrow night. Yeah. Like after the first session, we have second session. After we'll do till 1 a.m. But it's not just coming to watch the movie. It's coming to support the movement that we are bringing in to the industry. It's not stories. We're not coming to tell stories. We want action. That's why we are doing something to show that this is what we can do, and we have done it and we want to do it.
As someone who's been in the industry for a very long time, and with your exposure in Nigeria and the UK, what would be your advice to filmmakers, in Sierra Leone? Is it more stories or to look for more business opportunities within the industry itself?
Well, my advice would be to look for, at this moment, to look for more collaboration. Because like you guys said, Nigeria has this market because of our population, but we tell stories regularly. So I think the Sierra Leonean movie makers should look for more collaboration, because like Peter Komba that we're talking about, most people don't know that he's from Sierra Leone, but now everybody knows that. Some people know about Sierra Leone because of Peter, most of his fans, right? So I'm saying, my observation is, most of the filmmakers in Sierra Leone, they should look for more collaboration with people from Nigeria, Ghana. We have another movie coming up with a Ghanaian superstar, Nadia Buhari, with another Sierra Leonean. It's another Sierra Leonean
It's also a brand, Swad.
Yeah, so we're doing that soon. And the filmmakers, they should also look for quality as well. We're planning to do like some kind of talent thing here in Sierra Leone. People who, if you believe that you can act, if you believe you have it, we're going to open it. It's going to be free. Come and show us what you can do.
Is it going to be like an audition?
It's going to be an audition, yes.
Okay.
So we'll set it up in one of the hotels, and any Sierra Leonean can come of any age, come and show yourself. And we're going to put it out on social media so that any director or any producer in any part of the world that sees your audition and feels you have something can send you a message directly. They don't have to come to us. They can send you a message. So we're trying to do something that's never been done before. Give the people of Sierra Leone a platform. But it starts from, we want to see how they receive us.
Reception.
Because if they give us a good reception, we are here already. I've never been in a boat before. I went to the experience yesterday from the airport.
Was it scary?
I was so scared.
Welcome to Freetown.
I was so scared. So, and while this was happening, I thought to myself, why are you putting yourself through all of this? It's because I love the country. It's Africa. And I wish, they will pick up on this spark and blow it up so that all of us can, make a name, not even the money, make a name. Because most of the stories that we tell, they change people's lives. They do something to someone who would watch it. For example, Uncanny Love There's a lesson in the story, the lesson of not giving up. When you watch the movie, you would find out that you don't have to give up. As long as you can wake up tomorrow, there is hope at the end of the tunnel.
All right. Isho, as we round off, what would you think the rating will be tomorrow? And for people who would come to the premiere, not only your performance, but the movie in particular?
I think they're going to see classic, you understand? They are going to see standard. We are just pleading for a number of people to see our best to support us, because this team and this production has other countries they are working with. They have Cameroon, Gabon, Ghana. So if I am here today in my country with them, I want to see that we take home a result that they will keep coming. You understand? Because they've seen what we've done, Sierra Leoneans have done so far on internet, on social media. Each time they will see a movie from Peter Komba, from Ishobim Bayo, you know, the Sierra Leoneans will go under the comment section, our Sierra Leone flag, Sierra Leone flag. So these people want to see it physically. So please, we are begging them to come and give us the support we need for this journey, for this mission to continue.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen.
And you guys say this is my actress.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm taking her back from AYV. So, Mr. Navo, I'm taking my actress back to Nigeria. Yeah, so we worked an actress. Yeah, she's an actress. We worked a couple of movies. She's very good.
Yes.
Yeah, she's very good.
Wow. We've been her for a while now.
We are taking you back.
No, we're taking her back. I'm not in Sierra Leone. We're taking her back to our country.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen.
Yeah,
I'm afraid this is all we have time for. Let's go over to our commercials, take a few commercials, and then when we come back, we're going to our third segment of the program.
Here's how to update your details for Salon Payment Switch with AfriMoney. Dial *161#. Select option 1. Go to option 4 for Salon Payment Switch. Select option 2 for account registration. Select 1 to register your alias. You will receive an SMS with a WhatsApp link. Tap the link and provide a valid ID card and your last 5 transactions. Someone will help you update your accounts. AfriMoney, quick and easy.
Morning. Ria, give me 30 Leone top up. Thank you. Hello, babe. How you dey do? Talk to Uba.
Hello? Hello?
Don't settle for a provider that cuts into your data and airtime.
Ria, give me all the 30 deals.
AfriCell gives you full value. AfriCell, now we network.
Welcome back. This is Wakeup Saturday on AYV television and radio. Now to technology. Paraclet is a desktop app that listens to your service and puts scripture on screen before anyone has to look it up. It transcribes the sermon in real time and recognizes verses, the moment they are preached, whether the reference is spoken aloud or the words are simply quoted from memory. Then it cues them for your screens to watch.
NDI feed will live stream alongside captions for online viewers on the stage display for the platform. It runs worship too, song lyrics, service flow and themes you control from one operator view or phone. This morning we're going to discuss more on its operation and its importance. In the studio we have Bobley Dumbuya, founder and CEO of Paraclet. Good morning, Bobley, and welcome to Wake Up Sierra Leone.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, Bobley, I'm sure you must have seen the need for Paraclet. What, in simple terms, would you say the problem is that you saw in churches that you decided to come up with Paraclet?
Thank you very much. I've been in church for the longest time, and based on our research, we noticed every Sunday 4.2 million churches, they face a problem where a pastor calls a scripture, it is difficult for the media people to project it on the screen. I believe if you're a Christian, you've noticed that in church also. So what we did is that we believe what we've built is the world's first operating system for live service. So basically when a pastor calls a scripture, our software listens to it and pushes directly on the screen within 20 milliseconds. That's less than 1 second. It goes directly on the screen. You can also, it's also difficult when the service is over for the media people to generate content. But with Paraclet, there's a content studio. Immediately the service is over, you can, with just a click of a button, you can generate social media posts, discussion questions, bullet summaries, and the rest of other things based on the message that the person has preached or the man of God has preached. Basically, Paraclet works not also in the church setting. It works also outside the church setting. But we have two models in Paraclet. One is the cloud transcription. So it listens to 36 different languages and dialects, whilst the offline transcription listens to 99 different languages and dialects. So when we were building Paraclet, we made sure that the core functionalities should work offline because there is internet connectivity in Africa. So we want that if someone is at Mabeng, they should be able to use Paraclet without internet. So these are some of the things that will be, there's a whole lot of features that are currently embedded into Paraclet.
Okay, so this sounds beautiful, Mattia. But what happens when a preacher misquotes a verse or probably changes the word or paraphrases a scripture?
Immediately Paraclet picks it up. What we've built is a prediction automation. So Paraclet understands exactly what you're trying to say, and without you even actually calling the actual book in the Bible, if you say faith without works is dead, you don't need to call the actual book in the Bible. Paraclet understands, finds it in James, and then start projecting it immediately. So these are some of the things that Paraclet can do.
So listening to you speak, I wonder if this wouldn't bring in some confusion during the service. Because for instance, when pastors speak, you know, they just pop these things up. Faith without works is dead. Jesus wept, you know, stuff like that. And is it that as soon as he says it, it pops up on the screen?
So in Paraclet, there is auto mode, there is queue, and there is manual mode.
Okay.
So when you put it in auto mode, Paraclet automatically will run the service. So that is why there's a feature called service flow. So what service flow does, let's say, how can we make service flow work in AYV? It's quite simple. Now you already have adverts that needs to go up. You already have probably some scripts that needs to go up when you're actually handling this session. So with Paraclet, you can pre-populate everything that you want to do. And what Paraclet will do is that it will make some of the work that the tech people in-house, the technical people, to make some of their work obsolete. So basically, you can pre-populate everything. No sooner you say, now we are moving to the next segment, or we are moving to an advance from so, and so. Immediately you say it, you do not need an individual to move to that scene or to cut directly to that. Paraclet automatically listens, understands, and move directly. So there is auto mode that will take it automatically, and there is queue mode that will take what you've said, and then it will push it on a certain space that you can look at it, and then you can manually push it live if you want. So there will not be discrepancy. We also have AI sermon notes. What that does is that, you have your guest that sits here all the time, you discuss. So for you to get like 6 to 7 paragraphs of what is happening, you could easily, Parklet could easily listen to the entire conversations, whatsoever things you guys have said, the topics that you guys have said. It will automatically generate 6 paragraphs of the discussions, everything that people have said. So what you need to do is to just input the logo of AYV and then you export as PDF. You have your WhatsApp channel. You can just share it there. So people that were not part of the Wake Up Salon show, they can absolutely read and understand exactly what happened in the entire show.
Right. So I'm imagining the workability. Let's say you have a preacher that speaks quickly, a fast speaker, or someone that has a strong accent. Might be a Sierra Leonean accent, a Nigerian accent, a Ghanaian accent, or for some of our pastors that code switch, in the middle of the sermon, you see them switching from Creole to English to even our local languages. How will Parklet handle, things like this? And I'm also imagining how helpful this can be for smaller churches who are now doing live streaming services, whether on Facebook or on YouTube, and how this will help audiences, at home, to even identify and understand these scriptures. But for, recognizing different accents and code switching in between sermon and services, how will Parklet capture all that?
That's why I said there's offline and online model. So basically our online model listens to, online model listens to 36 different languages and dialects. So Parklet
does that include Creole?
It inclusive of Creole. It also listens to Hausa, Igbo. When you download Parklet, you also have the opportunity to translate whatever thing you are saying in Creole, in Yoruba, in Hausa, in Igbo. It is absolutely there. We're trying also to improve the Creole version. It's actually working. It's working perfectly. So it can absolutely switch. If your pastor is switching between Creole and English, Parklet understands what you're trying to say. And at the end of your sermon, when you want to generate in the content studio, you could easily select the language that you want to generate the content. So within the quick click of a button, you change the language to, let's say you want everything to be translated into, let's say, Hausa. So just a click of a button, it listens and then it automatically translates. There are basically churches currently using it.
Are you using a third-party AI, or is it a text-to-speech model?
So we built it's our AI-powered model that we built in-house. Yes. So basically, most of the things that we're building, we're building and make sure that we are owning the technology. So we didn't just get up one morning and say, okay, let's just take whatever I think people are using and then try building. We made sure that we took enough time to build and test, and then we push it out for the public.
And I can see the market is there, not just in the church. You can also look at the mosque. You can also look at
industry, by the way.
and you can also look at, as you've said, outside the church or mosque, official settings as well. But I'm concerned, what makes Parklet difficult to copy? If other software developers might want to look at your model and say, we can do it better. Why do you think it will be difficult for them?
I think we're in a space now where you could basically build any type of technology. It's not really difficult now. I have to be honest with you. I'm a software engineer, and also I understand a bit of comms. I was at DSTI leading communications at PR and comms, head of comms. So it's basically not really difficult to build technology now because technology has moved from syntax to just English language representation. So basically, people could build a lot of things if they have really smart engineers. But I could say one of our unique selling points is also we have a feature called Smart Worship Mode. What that does is that, so sometimes, let's say, for example, let's take it out of the church. Let's say AYV is having an event and probably the leak is on stage performing, but you want to project the lyrics of what he's singing. So Parklet automatically listens, it understands, it goes online, find the lyrics, and start pushing it immediately. So these are some of the features. We have lots of features. I cannot say all of them, but these are some of the features that we've built in Paraclet, and we believe it's the world's first AI operating system for live service. And there are also churches currently using it in and outside of Sierra Leone. We just completed a month anniversary since we launched Paraclet. Paraclet has detected and projected 100,000 scriptures. So in just a short span, you've seen the data. The data is actually speaking that, okay, pastors are now confident in saying scriptures that they will not be struggling for media people to push it up. They will not be struggling for content to be on screen. So Paraclet is actually helping churches and other businesses to leapfrog in what they're doing.
And quickly, as we try to round off, I'm afraid we don't have enough time. Let's talk quickly about the privacy and data collection. You know, Paraclet is constantly listening. Where are the audios going? How is that kept? What's, you know, the privacy format is like? And I also want to know, when sensitive issues are being discussed in church or in churches, for example, like testimonies, yes. How
very smart question.
how will Paraclet handle that?
Okay, so what we do in our online model, we just transcribe the text, but it sits on your PC. Privacy first, that is what we are very big on, privacy first. So we transcribe the text, but the entire text sits on your PC. We transcribe just to get it in real time. But also if you use the offline model, nothing goes directly to our server. It stays in your PC, it works in your PC, and the data is in your PC. The only data that we've actually collected is the amount of time Paraclet pushes scriptures directly to the screen. But we do not even get the scripture, but we know that Paraclet has pushed something online for XYZ person in America. But basically, we're not really keeping people's data. That is not what we want to do.
And quickly, the money side. So the business model of this all, is this a subscription or one-time purchase based?
It's a subscription. We have a free version till Jesus comes, so you guys can use it for free. And
but how limited or unlimited is it?
So you have 50-minute transcription, basically. That it gives you 50 minutes weekly, every week, every Saturday, I think at 7 p.m. in the evening, it resets again. And then we have the $30, which is the sanctuary. We have the production, which is
$30 for how long?
For a month.
Okay.
We have $30, we have $50, and we have $100. But basically, the $30 can actually do everything that I've said here. You can actually do it also. But we have more features that are in $100, that are in $50, but $30 can do the work.
You're essentially putting AI in between the preacher and the congregation. And before the advent of this social media now, pastors were saying social media is evil, is evil. We're now seeing AI in churches. Isn't this going to be concerning for conservative doctrines who think that the internet is still a space being operated by, you know, devil entity? Or
one thing I'm here to tell people is that AI is here to stay. We have to embrace AI. That is why we are building a mobile companion. So you can basically, let's say a pastor has preached a message, but you want to keep track of the message, you want to be asking questions. So we are building a mobile application that sits on top of Paraclet that can help you understand your sermon better. You can also call a scripture on your phone and then it pops up immediately. But there's a whole lot that we do. But AI is here to stay, and we're here to also help the church and other businesses to thrive.
All right, thank you very much, Bob Liduba. I'm afraid this is all we have time for this morning. Alimatu.
And this is where and how we will end today's edition of Wake Up Sierra Leone. We say thanks to those sponsors of the Commercial Bank for their support of the program. And to our audience, we appreciate your time. I am Alimatu Judge. And
I am Bokari Matiadu. Stay tuned to AYV throughout the day as we have other exciting programs coming up. Until we meet again next week for another exciting edition of Wake Up Sierra Leone. Do remember to show kindness always and have a pleasant day as it is Friday today. TGI.